before we get into this video, I just want to talk about something real quick. So as I'm sitting here on my Mac, trying to figure out how I should edit this, how I should hook your attention, the sounds I should be adding, the animations, all that stuff, I just suddenly realized that I'm not gonna do that. This is my second video on YouTube, and I'm overthinking it like a motherfucker because I'm a perfectionist. I know deep down that this video isn't going to blow up. Maybe some point in the future this video will blow up or gain more traction. But again, I was just overthinking this so much. I'm trying to make my second YouTube video perfect, but I decided to say fuck that. Not only because of the fact that I'm overthinking it, but because I want it to be raw. I want you to just hear my message and the kind of thing that I'm trying to do with this channel. I'm not gonna try and hook your attention or retain it with all the editing skills that I'm still not the best at. I'm still trying to learn this content creation thing. But yeah, I just decided that I'm going to make this video very raw and not try and put on a facade, not try and hook your attention and retain it. I'm just going to, again, let it be raw and let you hear my message. And those of you that see this video, I truly believe that you were meant to see this video and that it will change your life. And if you continue to watch this, I really thank you for giving me your time and your attention. It's your most valuable thing. But anyways, enough of me rambling on about why I'm not editing this video. Let's just get into it. Have you ever wondered what is the one thing that will completely transform your life? How do I go from someone that's mediocre, not feeling very fulfilled, not in the best health, not in the best financial situation, whatever it might be, to someone who's fulfilled, someone that's just crushing it in all areas of their life? For years, I was constantly asking myself this question. You see, I always wanted to be that person that everyone thought was just a badass, and I'm sure you do too. Who doesn't want to be the person that's just competent and good at everything they do? And after years of working on myself, I'm very confident I found the answer to this question. And the answer is to become curious and aware. And it sounds simple, it's just two words, become curious and become aware, but I can assure you there's a lot more layers that need to be peeled back to this answer. What does it mean to be a curious and aware person, and why is it so life-changing? First, let's talk about what it means to be someone that's aware. And this is more important than being curious. Someone that has a high awareness is self-aware, emotionally intelligent, aware of the world around them. And there are a lot of different words for awareness, like consciousness and mindfulness. So someone that's aware is constantly asking themselves hard questions. Questions like, what am I good at? What am I bad at? What are things that I know that I'm doing wrong that I need to stop doing and it's just negatively impacting my life? What are things that I'm holding on from the past? The list goes on. You just are constantly analyzing yourself, questioning yourself about your past, about what you're doing right now in the present moment, and who you want to be in the future, who you want to be. Not what anyone else tells you, because way too many people are told who they should be. And when you're aware of yourself, who you're truly meant to be, you start changing your life habits to revolve around that. And you're aware that it's not going to be easy to become this person that you're truly meant to be. But with your awareness and being mindful, you're able to hold yourself accountable. When you say you're gonna wake up at 5, you're gonna wake up at 5 and not hit the snooze button. When you say you're gonna work out, you're gonna get into your workout clothes and go hit that workout. When you say you're gonna eat that meal, you're gonna eat that meal, because you're aware and mindful of the fact that if you don't do this, you're just gonna feel regret and shame for not following through. And that regret and shame is a lot more painful than the temporary discomfort from that workout or waking up early in the morning. You're trying to constantly hold yourself accountable because you're aware of the person that you want to be. And in order to become that future version of yourself, you have to delay the gratification. You have to be a best friend to your future self. A lot of people are absolute dickheads to their future self. They won't go outside, they'll continue to eat shit food, they won't exercise and get a sweat on. These people that are dickheads to their future self, they aren't aware of the actions that they take in this moment. They aren't aware of the fact that if I continue to eat shit food and not see the sun and not get a sweat on, that future version of me is going to just feel like shit. It's going to look like shit, and then your entire life is going to be shit. So when you're aware, you're just a best friend to your future self. You're not a dickhead to him or her. You're trying to make their life easier, and you do so by being mindful and living in the present moment. And for the obvious reason that I said earlier, when you're living in the present moment, you're going to be able to take the right actions as opposed to just wanting to have that instant gratification. But the most important part of living in the present moment is that you're no longer attached to the past. You're no longer having these worrisome thoughts about the future. You're just living in the present. You're focused on your controllables, the things that you can do right now to make future you's life easier. And with that awareness, that expanded consciousness, the mindfulness of living in the present moment, you practice the art of noticing. You are taking everything in for what life is. You're noticing the beauty of life as opposed to the negatives of it. Because you're aware of the fact that if you just focus on the negatives, your life is just going to become negative. But if you focus on the positive, your life's going to become positive. You're grateful for the little things. When you have a cup of coffee in the morning, you're noticing the coffee. You're living in the present. You're not lost in thought. You're actually able to enjoy a cup of coffee. You're able to be grateful for the roof over your head. You're able to take in nature for what it is and the beauty of the world. You're noticing the amazing things around you, the things that you should be grateful for, because there are so many people in this world that are in far worse positions than you. Sure, you might not be in the best position right now, but you should definitely try to express gratitude for the things that you already have in your life. And another layer of the art of noticing with this expanded awareness and consciousness, you're no longer constantly being lost in thought. There was a research paper that came to the conclusion that a wandering mind is an unhappy mind. And what this concluded is that you could be doing literally anything, things that you don't typically like, but if you're just in the moment, not lost in thought, you're going to enjoy it far more if you were to be doing something that you actually enjoyed, but you were just lost in thought. You were in a different place. You were worried about what's going to happen tomorrow, or you were worried about what happened yesterday or a year ago or 5 years ago, however long it might be. You don't want to be lost in thought, and with this expanded awareness, you're able to live in the present. You're not being lost in this thought. And with this awareness, you're able to be aware of the fact that you don't need to necessarily identify with these thoughts. These thoughts aren't who you really are. You don't have to be dictated by your thoughts. You don't have to act on every single thought, on these impulses, and make bad decisions that you know you don't actually want to make. You can take a second and just breathe and analyze your thoughts. You can step back, step away from it, analyze the thought for a second with this expanded awareness, and then just watch it pass by like a cloud in the sky. You're not trying to grab every cloud. You can let some of those clouds just go. So you're no longer succumbing to these anxious and depressive thoughts. You're starting to take control over your own mind. You're starting to live in the moment. You're starting to be grateful. You're starting to examine yourself and the world around you. And another layer of being aware is that you're aware of other people and you're more emotionally intelligent and aware of the world around you in general. You're aware of the fact that if someone random gets mad at you, like road rage or some dumb shit, someone that gets angry over the smallest thing, you're aware of the fact that they're not necessarily mad at you. Obviously, take this with a pinch of salt because maybe you actually did something that's really fucked up and they have a right reason to be mad at you. But when you encounter someone in the street and they're just angry at you for no reason, most of the time they're not actually angry at you. They're just angry about something in their life and they're not aware of that fact. But they're unconsciously just taking that anger out on you. So when you're aware, you just understand people more. You understand that it's probably not personal. They just have some shit going on in their life and you start to have more empathy towards them. And you're just better at dealing with people in general, because humans are emotional creatures. To become an emotionally intelligent person, aware of other people and aware of how to deal with people, you're able to conquer life. But more importantly, when you're aware of yourself and you conquer yourself, that's when you really win at life. And with this awareness, you start to become more calm as well. You start to not get angry as easily, or you don't get extremely impatient. You're just able to live in the present, and you're able to not act on these negative emotions. So you can see that the word aware, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much underneath what it means to actually be aware. It's not just this surface level thing. And it's one thing that I'm saying these things, and it's another to internalize it and act out on this expanded awareness, consciousness, whatever you want to call it. And again, with that awareness, you are aware of the world around you. And most importantly, you start to question things more. You start to question the world around you. And that's where the curiosity ties in. You become curious about the world around you. You want to learn more. You want to do more, because you understand the fact that learning is how you grow. If you're constantly learning, you're constantly growing. You're able to constantly develop yourself as a person. And that's the biggest pleasure in life. Like, I can't think of anything else that's more fulfilling than being aware of the fact that you're growing each and every single day, because you're curious, because you're constantly seeking out information on how to better yourself, how to better your health, your wealth, your relationships, your finances, not even the big things, as well as how can I learn how to dance? How can I learn these other hobbies? How can I just do everything? How can I learn everything? How can I squeeze all the juices out of life before I die? And that curiosity is that inner child inside of us. Every single person is just trying to figure out their way in life. They're just some kid that's now all grown up. If you look at kids, they're just creative and curious. They're not worried about what's going to happen in the future, what's going to happen in a year from now. They're not worried about the things they made in the past. They're just in the moment and constantly curious or questioning everything. How does this work? How does that work? What is this? What is that? They're just constantly wanting to learn because they're curious. And you know what's crazy? Most people stop learning out of college. They just don't ever learn anything else. They just stay in the same spot in their life. They work the same job. They don't change physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, in their relationships, whatever it might be, because they're not curious. They're not aware of who they are. They're just drifting through life, not really taking control of life. When you're aware, you're taking control of life because you're seeking out more information. You're figuring out how you can evolve as a human being. I mean, if you want to work the same job for the rest of your life, that's fine. At least you're aware and mindful about it. But you have to have some sort of creative outlet. You have to have some sort of area of curiosity where you're trying to learn and grow and just constantly improve in. Maybe that is your job, where you're trying to constantly improve in each and every single day. But having creative outlets as well, where you're just trying to do a bunch of other things and squeeze all the juices out of life, is super, super, super important, because you can't let that inner child die. So when you're a curious and aware person, you're just not letting that inner child die, because again, we're just all grown-up kids trying to figure out our way in life. This one life that we get, this one life that will someday end. And you're aware of the fact that it's going to end someday. Memento mori is one of the sayings that the Stoics said. And all it means is that, remember, you must die. You're aware of the fact that you're going to die someday, and you become at peace with that. But you know that you get this one life, so what the fuck are you going to do with it? You're going to take life head on. You're going to learn as much as possible. You're going to become curious because you're aware that you're going to die. You're just going to constantly seek information, constantly try and learn and grow and evolve as a human being. So I know I'm trying to sound like a broken record, but I'm really just trying to drill this point in for the betterment of your life, because it takes a second to actually internalize what it means to be curious and aware. Because when you're curious and aware, the thing that you're actually doing is you're taking control of your mind. You're taking control of the only controllable. You can't fully control other people. You can't control the weather. You can't control how many hours there are in a day. The only thing you can fully control is yourself and your mind, the way you react to things and the actions that you take. Because listen, I wasn't born special. There are people out there that are born special and have a lot of talent but waste it because they're not aware, they're not curious, they're not trying to constantly better themselves, they're not obsessed with becoming better. There are so many people out there that just have wasted potential. Don't become one of those people. Become someone that's curious and aware, because you're aware of the fact that you can't change the cards that you were dealt. You're aware of the fact that the only thing that you have control over is your actions and your mind. That's the only thing you can do, is constantly seek out information and expand your awareness, expand your mind, and just constantly fucking improve. And this is how you live your life to the fullest and squeeze all the juices out of it. So that's really all there is to what it means to become a curious and aware person. And in essence, that's really all my channel is going to be about. This is my second video, so I wanted to make this one of my first videos because I want to say at the end of each video to stay curious and aware. I'm going to run with it for now. It might change, it might not, but I really like the idea of saying at the end of each video, just stay curious and aware. I want that to kind of be my thing. And in order for me to say to stay curious and aware at the end of each of my videos, I had to actually break it down and explain to you what it means, because there are a lot of layers to this shit. So that is all to this video. The one thing that can completely change your life, just become someone that's curious and aware. And I really hope you took something out of this. If you did, consider leaving a like. Not only will it help me, but it will help push this video because of the algorithm, and then it will impact more lives. Personally, I think this is a powerful message and it can change a lot of lives. I hope you do too. And if you think it's a powerful message and you want to see more videos like this, about my journey of being a curious and aware individual, consider subscribing, because it's zero cost, help me grow and make me happy. So hit that subscribe button. So again, that is all. And remember to stay curious and aware. Peace.